Hello my friend and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this channel is to highlight products in different light, to cover all the negative sides and things why you will have buyer remorse. So my main goal is to save your money. And today we are talking about this TikTok hyped ethical hacking device called Flipper Zero. Let's start with conclusion. It's just a toy. It's very overpriced and overhyped. If you want to know why I regret buying it, watch till the end. Let's start with my story. So I'm a software developer, cybersecurity professional, and also a blogger and filmmaker. Yeah, and I thought this device will be very useful for me. So I go to website to check the prices. And it cost at the time around £200, which is not very cheap. It is very expensive, I would like to say. The bigger thing that I start searching about discount, and there's no discounts. I never had any discounts as well. So after a few days of thinking, should I buy or should I not, I just ordered it. And I was so surprised that it was delivered to my recycling bin. This £200 device was delivered by the cheapest delivery ever possible with the Avery. When I get device from my recycling bin, I start looking at it. And I figure out the plastic quality is really good, but there is two things to mention. First of all, it's very fragile, because every slight drop can be fatal for this device. The second thing, that screen is made of plastic, so you have to order that protection film. Because if you wouldn't put it on the screen, you can get scratches even from looking at the screen. And it's a lot bigger than I really expected. It's very thick, and if you put it in your pocket, some people can think that you have a boner. I try to use it for my different scenarios. And I found out that I have a lot better and cheaper tool for every scenario it has. For example, infrared remote, which I had in my 200 chip Xiaomi phone, is a lot better than we have in Flipper Zero, and it's a lot easier to use. I tried to use it as rubber ducky, running different USB keyboard scripts, but I found out that smaller and cheaper tools are a lot better for that. I have to mention it's used very old STM32 microcontroller, which is only 64 MHz, compared to all devices that I have with ESP32. It's more modern, it's more easier to use, and it's triple the power. In my opinion, coding for ESP devices is a lot easier and a lot more fun, because you can use like MicroPython, JavaScript. These languages has some overhead, alright, and they need more processing power to run properly. It's a lot harder to code for Flipper Zero. Cool thing is that it's very hype, and there are a lot of ready solutions for that. Flipper can read electronic key cards, different key fobs and other devices, which is really cool. Also, it can read sub-gigahertz signals as well and copy and replicate them. But it's not as easy to use as you think. You still need to have a lot of knowledge. So for example, if you want to copy your driveway remote key, it's not as easy as just press one button. You have to analyze frequency, understand what frequency, what modulations your device using, and then you can copy. But the biggest advantage, in my opinion, is that this device was made by Russians. It has a lot of features which are really cool to use in Russian realities. For example, this kind of key fob cloner. In Russia, they use these fobs everywhere to access apartment blocks. And unfortunately, in England, a lot of these features are useless. It is like multi-tools. They can do a lot of things, but very shitty. For all things that you need, like for example, copying key fobs, they're a lot better device and cheaper. There are the thing that it doesn't have Wi-Fi and it doesn't have NRF model. So you cannot jump drones with it, Bluetooth and things like that. You cannot do Wi-Fi penetration testing. You cannot test your smart home device that uses Wi-Fi for connection, and for that you need to buy the extra Wi-Fi model. But you know what stupidity is? The Wi-Fi model has ESP32 chip. In this case, Flipper is only acts like a terminal to connect in with these two devices. So basically you can add a keyboard and a screen to USB32 controller, and in this step Flipper Zero actually is unnecessary, because you can have already ESP32 device and it will become more practical, more stable, and even a lot cheaper. So let me show you better alternatives to the Flipper that you can buy. Let's start with my favorite Cardputer. It's small and nice. It's a lot cheaper than Flipper and a lot more powerful. It has a keyboard, which you can use a tiny Bluetooth keyboard. It also has infrared as well. And it has a Wi-Fi, which makes this device very cool for ethical hacking, learning hardware development, and a lot more. The good thing about alternative devices is that they are not banned in some countries. Police see you playing around game in a Flipper, they can get suspicious and start asking questions. It would never happen with alternative devices. There are a lot of emulators for pocket and home consoles like NES, Game Boy, and you can even play games on Cardputer. It doesn't have as much as inbuilt models as Flipper Zero, but it's not a big problem because you can add any model just like this. For example, here I built like an RF hat, and it's very small just because it doesn't require you to have extra ESP32 processor. It's already in a Cardputer. And yeah, it can be used for drone jamming, Bluetooth jamming, and other things. I have to mention that it's highly illegal to do so in England and any other country. Do it in under control environment to your own equipment for learning. It can run Ducky Scripts, so when you plug it into your computer through USB, computer will see keyboard, and it can run some malicious payload to run some scripts, which is not always malicious. Sometimes it's very useful when you need to install a lot of software in a lot of machines. You can just use it, but there is device that a lot better for that. This kind of small USB-like looking stick, which is actually mainly made to act like a rubber Ducky script. The difference from the Flipper, it's very tiny, it looks like a USB drive, and it has inbuilt Wi-Fi as well, which is really cool, and it has a lot more processing power than Flipper, so it can run scripts faster. Some people put Bitcoin miners here. It's very inefficient but cool at the same time. As for Bitcoin miners, my favorite one is this one. It's called CYD, Cheap Yellow Display. You can find this on Amazon, AliExpress, and whatever for $10 US. It also has USB 32 chip with a Wi-Fi, SD card, and a lot of capabilities. So you can use it as a display to output some data that you want, or you can use it for penetration testing. It has 2.8-inch touchscreen display. I've seen people reselling this with installed firmware for Bitcoin miner, but if you want to install Node miner, go to GitHub and install it. Also, I have a device like this, which is also really cool and cheap. And here is the best Flipper alternative. It's Lilygo T-Embed CC1101 and RF24. With this device out of the box, you can do a lot of cool things. You can do Bluetooth pen testing, Wi-Fi pen testing, but also you can do sub-gigahertz, and there is a 2.4 NRF module which can be useful to jam in Bluetooth devices or drones that working on 2.4 gigahertz. So some people will argue and say that Flipper is better because it has something that this device doesn't have. But if you want to buy a Flipper Zero with all that functionality in a smaller format and cheaper, I recommend Yakisu V4B. What they did, they take all the schematics of Flipper Zero and put it on the card with all the models that it has, put a smaller battery and make it lighter and smaller and a lot cheaper than Flipper. It can run exactly same firmware as a Flipper do, and it can do exactly same things as a Flipper do. As a downside, it doesn't have a case. It looks like a dev board. You can 3D print the case or just buy printed by someone else. So as a conclusion for this video, now there are no long wait lists for the Flipper, so you can buy it straight away. And more people start list for sale as used. They bought the device and they didn't find use cases for it. I really appreciate if you watch this video till the end. Please support my channel with a like and subscription. Always honest, always unsponsored, always critical reviews only for you, to save your money and save your time. Stay tuned.